Milan Tsivinki, welcome to another episode. Fire Wine from the Mobile Schools podcast. Remember, don't like, don't subscribe, do not share. Nobody cares, man. So, today I really just wanted to talk about the dangers of social media. I've touched on this issue before with Operation Tudula. I've touched on this issue with Twitter funding like local wars and like not focusing on the dangers of opinions that get retweeted enough. So algorithms, they will have you believe like they're just automatic. But what Twitter does is that if somebody tweets like, let's say, some xenophobic shit or some tribalistic shit, Twitter will look at how many likes that tweet gets and then it puts it on top, so you will see it. And if you like, it will start repeating that whole uh, it will feed you that content with people who have the same views as the tribalistic shit, and then it will upset you, but you'll keep going in trying to see if you have like-minded people who think like you and all that shit. So what I am trying to figure out is what is it that we're going to do as South Africa? How can South Africa control social media platforms? Because it seems like social media platforms are doing as they want. And then they come out and they have like all these conferences, especially in the US. So many helicopters here, man. Fly shit. Super fly shit, just like me. So in the US, you have like situations where if like, oh, they nearly removed government forcefully. There was an attempted coup. We're going to talk to all these social media companies and tell us how they couldn't see it. These are the same people who are not doing that in Africa. They don't care about Africa. Actually, they will go as far as saying like Africa is such a shithole. Nobody cares if people are killing each other. We expect those type of things. But South Africa needs to be careful. Ramaphosa must go, by the way. But that doesn't mean that should Ramaphosa win elections from the ANC voters, he should be removed regardless. That's not how democracy works. But now on Twitter, you have people who have these opinions. Like a few days ago, it was trending like, oh, Basotho people are the ones who are killing people in Soweto taverns. When you say it like that, saying it's Basotho people, so South African xenophobes have moved from, oh, it's Nigerians, it's Zimbabweans, oh, it's Mozambicans, to it's Basotho. So we need to be very careful with those type of narratives where we like, okay, so if it's Basotho people, the people in uh, South Africa who are like Basotho from the Free State are going to catch strays out of these things. So they're going to be asked like, hey, what tribe are you? Kimosotho, Wakokai, Free State. Ah, you lying. Kwa, 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 kwa. Yo, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Rwanda genocide. It started like that. It was just one of those tribal issues that started and then it became a genocide. So for me, I think it's very important for government to be able to talk to Twitter and all these other social media companies and say, hey, this is not true. We need to have fact checkers where if a tweet says Basotho people are the ones who kill people in the taverns, like Twitter, you need to mute this until there's an investigation. But now that's where the trouble comes. The South African police is shit. They still haven't arrested anyone. Dog, somebody walked into a fucking tavern in Soweto, a township suburb, and shot people at random. Blew motherfuckers' head off. We still don't have any suspects. It happened again in Katlehong, but it's so crazy that we live in a country where somebody can just walk in, shoot motherfuckers, and nothing happens. We're going to forget about it. Now we're going to talk about tribalism in the townships, Xhosa, not Xhosas. Actually, even they complaining, but Venda and Zonga people have been saying like, yo, this thing about tribalism has been happening for the longest time. As a Venda and Zonga person, I've been told so many times that I must go back to Venda. People have said shit like Venda should be given to Zimbabwe, like Venda should not be part of South Africa. Those are xenophobic things that people say. But now when it gets to social media, it becomes a problem because you have people who are hurt by losing family members. So they're gonna start taking up arms the same way Dudula is trying to show them how to do it. Like, oh, we need to take charge of our community. I agree, every community needs to have its own leaders that will take care of the situations, but you need processes. If there's a shooting, you need investigators. You can't just wake up and say, oh, they were wearing blankets. What type of nonsense is that? So we are now caught in like this catch 22 where we like, should social media mute voices online, or should we let them do whatever they want to do, and the government should be the one that mutes people online talking shit? It happened last year in July when there was like this insurrection where in the KZN and Gauteng people were like just looting and stuff. There are Twitter accounts that are pushing that narrative like we need to shut down this country. We need to shut this country down. They still out there tweeting. People lost jobs, people lost their businesses, people lost their fucking lives. And then they wanna make it about race, like, oh, those Indians that shot black people, like, oh, motherfucker, some of those motherfuckers were getting into people's yard to go steal. You saw the videos, you don't wanna talk about that. But that's okay, that's a topic for another day. Today I'm talking about how I've always said, it's always gonna come down to you. That's Kanan said it best. It's me and my nation against the world, and then it just moves down to your tribe, and then finally it's gonna be your brother who's going to kill you. So it's just a matter of us understanding that we live in danger where information is free flowing, which is a good thing, but it has become a bad thing when there's no. Because back in the day, if it was a newspaper that said, oh, it was the Basotho people, there would have been like journalists that investigated. But now it's like, oh, some guy just tweeted his people were wearing like blankets and they live in that area where there's a lot of Basotho. Yo, people in Shawela are gonna be fucking burnt alive. They're going to be burnt alive because of this narrative. But I don't want to like run my mouth about this because I am really not a podcaster. I'm an independent TED talker. So let's try to get it right. We need to find fact checkers. We need to start companies that are fact checkers in South Africa. Like media companies, we cannot trust them because they work for like white captains of the industry. So that's why they never talk about stories about Ramaphosa. Also, we haven't forgotten about Phala Phala. Ramaphosa must fucking resign and be jailed. He's a criminal. But with that said, man, just want to say, Jovicho. Habash.